I want it.
All right, we're live.
And we're back.
Oh, we're really live.
Yeah.
What's going on, guys?
Keep
Welcome.
that. I want to keep that. Just go.
What's going on, guys? Welcome into the third episode of Student Union's Cup Check. With me, as always, my co-hosts, my confidants, Clemson Carl and Andy Jones. Fellas,
How you
how
guys
are
doing?
we? How are we this evening?
Tired.
I'm the
Can't
opposite
keep you-
tired. I'm hyped up.
Yeah, hype. That's what I want. We're about to do a show here. I don't need tired every week from you, Andy.
You're fucking get tired.
Okay, well,
It's
you
the
just
West
said.
Coast mentality.
Well, you've been tired 2 weeks in a row. I'm starting to question the entire West Coast mentality at this point. So,
West Coast sucks.
listen, we're going to question some mentalities today during the show. There's a lot of mentalities to be questioned. Andy, I didn't want yours to be the first. The first mentality I wanted to question is Le'Veon Bell. I mean, what's going on? Fellas, Le'Veon Bell, he's not even playing week 1. He's talking about holding out to week 10. What kind of guy is this? How physically weak is this guy?
Well, physically weak, we know he's not physically weak, but mentally is clearly a giant issue. I don't get the whole holdout thing. If you want a big contract, show you're committed to the team before you talk about being committed to money. Why does any other team want to sign you if every time there's a money issue, your first option is I'm not coming to practice? Look at Odell Beckham Jr., right? The guy probably could have done the same holdout. He's in a contract year. Instead, he came to practice. He came to spring ball and said, I'm going to show everybody I'm the best athlete in the league. And a couple months later, he's got the best wide receiver contract that's ever happened. If Le'Veon Bell came in and showed that he was committed to the team and still the best running back in the league, he'd have a contract by now, probably bigger than what he was asking for to begin with. But he's being like a huge baby. His team doesn't want him anymore. And I honestly can see a team that has nothing to lose taking a chance on him, but he won't end up on a playoff contender.
Yeah, no, he's the locker room cancer. I mean, that's it. The guy doesn't want to get paid $17 million to play one season in the NFL and get signed to a huge contract the next season by the Steelers. He wants to just hold out and have the team suddenly pull money out of the Rooney's asshole bank account and get paid $150 million. He's a great running back. He's not the best running back in the NFL. I think Gurley is 10 times better than him, and he's just being an idiot. Like, now all of his linemen on Twitter, or not Twitter, but are saying quotes that are being put around on Twitter that, like, they're over him, just stay out the whole entire season, or that Raymond Foster said he's making 7 times what I make and twice as much as Alejandro Villanueva is making, and we're the guys that do it for him. It's like he'd be nothing without that offensive line, and the offensive line obviously doesn't have respect for him anymore. So I think he's royally fucked over the Steelers, and I think he's done with the Steelers personally.
I just think it's a huge kind of a baby move, like you said, Carl. Like, I mean, listen, I know you don't want to risk your health and your body, and that's why you're sitting the season out. But that, you're wasting your prime years. This is a year you could make your money or you could get that deal. But when you've done it in the past multiple times and you continually screw your team over, sitting out training camp and doing this and that, I don't want to get tagged. I know you care about yourself, but at some point you've got to realize you're making a mistake. It's a huge mistake by Le'Veon that's going to be, in the future, I think this is going to be a thing. We're going to look back and be like, we could have seen prime Le'Veon, who to me is still the best running back in the NFL, maybe the best running back I've ever seen play in the NFL. Him and Adrian Peterson, Le'Veon is so good out of the backfield. He is one of the best. He's a receiver, basically. He plays receiver sometimes. He's great. He's a great runner. He's a freak athlete. You don't get guys like him and AP all the time. And for one of these guys that we're getting to lose watching him play because of a contract issue, I mean, it's ridiculous, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate it. I don't hate the guy. I respect trying to get money, but at some point you kind of gotta man up and just go out there and play.
Yeah, I mean, he may not be the best running back purely in the league, but his combination of being such a threat in the passing game, not only from the backfield, but also lining him up in the slot. I mean, he is a gigantic asset to any football team, but he hasn't shown loyalty to anyone but himself. So, he's getting what he deserves. He's sitting out a season, and like Johnny said, we may miss out on prime Le'Veon Bell, but it may not really be worth any team to have him because he's such a cancer.
At least he has a rap career to fall on, right?
Yeah.
An ass rap career.
Yeah, I just don't get the whole rappers and athletes thing. Like, has there ever been a good one?
Shaquille O'Neal.
Seventh Floor Crew.
Well, okay, so you got Seventh Floor Crew, which was amazing. You've got Kobe eating my ass, amazing. Please tell me, yeah. So Shaq and Kobe beef, much further. Greg and his third leg. Which rap was better? Who would you rather have rap? I mean, who would you rather battle rap coming at you, Shaq or the Seventh Floor Crew?
Seventh Floor Crew for sure.
100%.
That's not even a question.
After I watched the 30 on that team, I listened to that song like 20 times over, and the third leg is just the greatest line of all rap history.
Yeah. I mean, they literally just talk about banging like every chick at Miami. On a 30 for 30.
Yeah.
All right. Can we I condone that rap in zero ways. There's nothing about it that was good as a human being, but in pure which rap crew do you want on your side? Seventh Floor Crew, right?
All day. Yeah.
100%.
But Shaq's got to stardom. You get Shaq could say anything. He was a genie in that one movie. People forget.
Shaq Fu, he was a kung fu master.
I mean, think about it. Shaq's been through it, brother. Maybe the best big man of all time.
Possibly, but maybe.
So on the subject of rap, I guess those are old rap news, but new rap news: Drake, Kim, Kanye, a love triangle, something people maybe news won't talk about, but the people here want to hear about it and they want to talk about it. Is Kiki Kim Kardashian? Did Drake have sexual relations with that woman? I think he did. I read the thread. There's too much damning evidence to point he did. Now, I've got a little topic list here that I'm going to read off really quick. And I've done a little bit of research. Okay. Kim Kardashian's nickname is Kiki. She's posted it multiple times on social media. We know her nickname is Kiki. The I'm shy photos. We know that Kim said, I'm really shy. And a month later, Drake posted a photo that said, I'm shy, ... Randomly, they're both shy. Weird. Okay. Then after all this comes out, Kanye sends out tweets apologizing to Drake. Weird. Okay. Now the lyrics to the song is what gets weirder. Where their houses are located, he has a rap lyric that really talks about living on the block, sneaking out in the middle of the night and having sex and taking a right. She lives less than a mile from his home, and that's the route to get to her house. The whole thing is just, to me, it's unbelievable. And I can't, if it's true, you got to admit this kid cracked a case. So what is y'all's take on this? Is it real? Is it true? Is it just juicy? And do we need this in our lives?
It's 100% true. Twitter is like NCIS with the most crucial things. And this guy, whoever it is, I forget his Twitter account, he cracked a goddamn code. He is now going to be like an inside reporter for BET Network. Who the hell knows what he's going to do? But I think Drake and Kim did fuck. And Kanye probably recorded it because he's a cuck.
No, honestly, that kid that released the thread, that's a burner account for one of them. Drake and Kanye are behind the scenes. They're planning to drop a new album. They're hyping it up right now. I mean, you come out of your house one way, you go down the street, you make a right. That's one person's house. You come out of your house, you make a quick left, you go down the street, you go to the right. That's a different house. We don't know which way he came out of the house. Maybe he's banging someone on the other side of the street. There's just too many parts about it that are just...
we do know where he came, though. So where he fit, we may not know how he started or how he got there, but we know where he finished and how he finished.
No, we don't know anything about it. All I know is...
did he finish or not?
Did who finish?
Here's my thing. Drake's a soft guy. If him and Kim got together, Drake's probably still in his feelings about it. I mean, he's rapping about being in his feelings all the time. Okay, if they got together, my thing is Drake might actually be in love with this chick if all this is true. I mean, he's already had a baby with a porn star at this point. I mean, Kim K is just another realm of God. What do you call Kim K? What is she? She's been a porn star. She posts naked pictures. She's got some kids. She's super famous.
She's definitely not shy. That's for sure.
She's a self-made millionaire.
She's
smart. She's a marketing genius. As are Drake and Kanye. So, Carl, your theory could be true.
That's what I'm saying.
But if Drake's producer in Houston holds true that his song that was going to be released, to Pusha T, the diss track, never came out because he said Drake doesn't need that drama. Drake's been a good guy his entire career. We don't want to blow Drake's career up with this. That's where you gotten to be like, well, damn, everyone did say he had a song it was unreleased, another diss track to Pusha that was more aimed at Kanye. Now you kind of flip the script. In one of his songs, he says, "You say more without saying anything." So it's like, damn, is he really saying things that none of us believe or none of us even fathom to maybe come true? Maybe he never thought this would come out. Maybe he knew it would come out. Who knows? That's the beauty of the internet. You can read about conspiracies about chili making people forget names, the water making frogs gay. There are endless theories on the internet, and this is just another one. We're either riding with it or we're hopping off the wave.
I'm going to be on the right side of history.
Stay woke. What if Northwest is Drake's kid? Or whatever the hell Kim's kid. Is Northwest? It's Northwest, right?
I think it's North. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Because
is that Drake's child?
If you think from the Kardashians' house to Drake house on a map, she has to go northwest to get to his house. I mean, I'm not trying to, triangulate it, but I'm just saying.
My God. Kanye's been cucked worse than anybody I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, my.
He needs
Talk
to
about
go.
NCIS.
I mean, I feel bad at this point. Kanye's apologizing to Drake. He's down. He's out. He's been cucked. This is a bad look for a guy that was once considered the greatest rapper of all time.
He's just been tweeting about peace and love for too long. Like, something like this was going to come out. You knew he was trying to get ahead of some storm.
He was tweeting about oversized shoes while Drake was fucking his girl.
Yeah.
Just leave it there.
Woo!
He couldn't even fill his own shoes.
No. Oh, God, that's tough. Well, before we move on to Nick Saban, who's also a douchebag, where do we go on this side? Who's the bad guy? Is Kanye the bad guy? Is Kim the bad guy? Is Drake the bad guy? Oh, it's 2018. Excuse me. Who's the bad person here?
I mean, Drake's got to play a huge part if he's banging a married woman.
Yeah.
Right? That's got to be most of the bad guy. I mean, obviously that's not a one-way street. If Kim's inviting him in, that's also pretty shitty. Kanye, I don't know. Kanye's been in outer space for a while. I don't know what to think of him.
Yeah. I mean, probably Kanye is the bad guy because he's being cucked and he's allowing it.
But
does he know and does he care?
Right.
That is true. He might know, he might not.
Maybe there's no bad guys. Maybe they're both buddies. They share what they have, and
the Eiffel Tower.
That's definitely a theory. I mean, you just don't know. Here's the thing, though. I want the theory to be true so bad. Like in a show when there's sexual tension between two characters, and you're just sitting there, and you're just sitting there, and you just get all driven up, and they're getting hot and heavy. A little kiss happens, and you're like, they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it. They're gonna do it. They're gonna do it. And you know what? By God, they do it. And to me, there is nothing better than when you finally get that moment of two characters on a television show having sex. I think that's I think peak television is two characters that you love finally doing it on television.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say to that. You thought of this way too long. I'm a little concerned about it.
Holy shit.
Listen, it's something that's really been on my mind, okay? I was watching Ozark recently, and I was waiting on Jason Bateman, the main character, to bang one of the women he worked with. They kissed, and then they didn't bang. And the whole season was ruined for me because I wanted them to hook up the whole time, and they didn't. A kiss, and that's it.
I know what you're talking about, though, because, you ever watch New Girl?
No, but my big brother swears it's a great show.
It's not a great show, but...
Okay.
Two of the characters that you sort of like, the main characters, Zooey Deschanel and Nick, they move in together. You could tell they're going to end up, but it's just 3 or 4 seasons before they even think about it. But the whole time, every time there's a little hint, you're like, yes, that's it. And then it takes 4 more times till they finally do it. And then you're just as a viewer at home, you and all your friends watch it together, start embracing each other. Yes.
High fives all around the couch.
You just want a natty.
It's crazy how excited you actually get when two characters have sex on a television show. To me, it doesn't even make sense.
No.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on from television show sex and drug theft. That led to
that segment.
That led to a place I really wanted to be. Next up, a very hot topic this week. Very hot topic. is the Nick Saban situation.
You have about your quarterbacks after watching both of them play tonight?
Well, I still like both guys. I think both guys are good players. I think both guys can help our team. All right, so why do you continually try to get me to say something that doesn't respect one of them? I'm not going to, so quit asking.
Okay, now there's two sides to it. As Nick Saban, you've told people you're not going to answer the question. As Maria Taylor, you're a journalist who has to ask that question. And it's her job to ask that question. Whose side do you fall on with the Nick Saban situation? And just to preface this, Nick Saban came out and said, I'm not answering any questions. And he kind of was an asshole, and he shunned Maria Taylor away, basically. Maria Taylor handled it very professionally, continued the interview. But Nick Saban, the douchebag he is, responded to a question that was a very normal question that any coach would probably answer besides him. So, fellas, the side you fall on.
Saban knew this question was coming. You have a quarterback battle ever since January when Tua, the world's greatest Hawaiian, apparently came in and won Bama a championship, and you just don't say anything about it until the day before the game. You're like, oh, they're both going to play. Like, yeah. I mean, of course you're going to get questions like that. You got questions all summer, all spring, even through recruiting. I mean, he's going to get questions about it, and he doesn't answer it then. He's going to have to answer it after the goddamn game where they both played. They both played pretty decently well. I mean, it was Louisville. It's not like we're all going to be saying that they're going to be the next Heisman. But, I mean, you have to answer it. And the way I get tensions are high after a game like that. Saban looks like he wants to fucking curb stomp a gerbil after every single game he wins by 30 for God knows what reason. I mean, but the way just to go after Maria Taylor like that for asking a question that literally every sports media outlet wants to know and will ask, it's a douchebag move on his part.
Oh, Saban has absolutely no idea how to deal with his own personnel. We saw that. That's why he failed as an NFL coach and had to come back to college. And as soon as he throws in a freshman that takes over the guy that brought him to a national championship the year before, the whole offseason, even Jalen Hurts said he never heard from Saban or anybody else on the coaching staff the entire time. Like, you have to talk to the kid and figure out, okay, here's what you have to do to remain the starter. Or, we're going with a dual quarterback system, something like that. As soon as Jalen Hurts, right before training camp started, came out and said that he hasn't heard from the coaches, and I'm pretty sure he said that says a lot to me or something along those lines. Like, you knew that there was tension in Alabama. So Saban getting all fired up at the fact that people want to get something out of him just shows that he has no idea how to deal with anybody else's emotions but his own. Of course, you want to keep control of your football program, but there's one of the biggest quarterback battles in the country going on. You're going to have to answer questions. And if you don't realize that as a Division I coach, you don't belong there. You're going to have to be able to handle it. Look at Dabo, right? Every time he hears everybody come out about Kelly Bryant versus Trevor Lawrence, he just, he said it. Kelly Bryant deserves to be the starter, but Trevor Lawrence has come in and proved that he deserves playing time. And until that changes, they're both going to play. And that's all you have to tell the media. Kelly B is going to come out and start. Trevor Lawrence is going to get his reps. It looks like Saban's plan is Tua is going to start. Jalen Hurts is going to get his reps. So I don't know why it's so hard for him to just say that.
I mean, seriously, like you said, he's just kind of an asshole. I mean, he really is, man. Like, he's not good at dealing with people. He's not a people person. There's a reason his daughter turned out the way she did. Ayla, Lane.
Can we get a backstory?
Well, so for years she was, when my buddy went to Alabama and he was part of the media there, she was hooking up with football players. And the rumor is around Alabama that Lane Kiffin and her may have. So I'm going to make a motion real quick here, okay? You can see it on the screen. It's just like this.
NSFW. Like cover your kids' ears and eyes and everything.
Cover everything. Okay. They had sex. Okay. That's a huge rumor. It could be false. I don't know. But that is a huge rumor around Alabama, and also all the football players hooking up with her. Obviously, there was some emotional issues there. She was never close to him. Nick Saban being an emotionless, heartless dude is the reason his daughter slept with the entire football team. That's it.
Conspiracy
that's what I gotta say.
Episode. It is a conspiracy episode.
Oh, that's not a conspiracy. The football player thing is like 100% real.
Oh,
she
had
to transfer from Alabama. Yeah. There was like a huge, it got pretty bad apparently while my buddy was there. So that was an interesting situation. So he's heartless, soulless, and his daughter hates him, maybe? I'm down to run with things. Anything to make Nick Saban not look like a bad dude works for me completely. So
Yeah. He's just a douche. I mean, it's just plain simple. If you're an Bama fan, you hate him. And it just adds to it.
There's got to be a point where Bama fans, I feel like if you talk to them long enough, you got a couple drinks in them, like, yeah, they love all the rings, but can they really like dealing with all this either?
Yeah, like at some point you just gotta bite it. No, get him going. I mean, he's gonna be 70 here, or is he 70 already?
I don't even know.
I thought he was only like 60.
I think he's
upper
60s. He's upper 60s, I think.
He's been around for a minute.
Yeah. So leading into that college football question, Nick Saban's daughter, maybe that didn't go where we thought it would. Okay. And our second to last topic today is the lock and upset of the week. You know, we're a bit of a gambling company, which is becoming legal, so it's fine that everybody does it now. Actually, everybody should gamble.
Shout out New Jersey.
Clemson Carl got me back into gambling last week, so I've lost some money thanks to him this past couple days. But it was fun to lose my money. You know what I'm saying? It's fun. Winning, losing. Fellas, give me your upsets, give me your locks.
All right, my upset of the week. Nevada's playing Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt, not a football school. Nevada puts up, like 50 points a game if you've watched them in the last couple of years. Just something that I have a gut feeling on. I didn't really look into it that much at all, but usually when I look into it, that's when I convince myself of one thing that's the complete wrong thing. The lock of the week, Clemson -12 against Texas A&M. People are thinking that Clemson might struggle a little bit because they're playing in a stadium with over 100,000 fans and whatever, but it's not going to shake us. We've played bigger teams. Clemson's going to come out, win by 3 or 4 touchdowns. It'll be a real quick primetime matchup. You'll switch right over to the Pac-12 after dark game.
I mean, no comment on the A&M game. My lock of the week, I took Stanford -5.5 because USC did great with JT Daniels his first game. I mean, he did awesome, but Stanford's just they're the top 2 team other than Washington. Even though Washington lost, they're the best team in the pack right now. There's no way they're going to stop. They're going to stop where they're at. And my upset of the week, I'm going to take ASU +6.5 over Michigan State because Michigan State almost lost to a very, well, not crappy, but a Utah State team who they should have blown out by 30. And we know that Michigan State sucks now, just like the rest of the Big Ten apparently.
Respect. My picks. I just feel that my lock of the week, Georgia -10 at South Carolina. Williams-Brice is a loud stadium, but South Carolina's good. People think their offense is a little bit more electric than it has, than it really is. Jake Bentley's going to Jake Bentley. I say Georgia 3 touchdowns plus. I think it's going to be an interesting matchup. I mean, maybe in the first half it'll be close, but Georgia and Kirby Smart are on a little bit of a different level right now in the SEC. It's kind of Georgia, Alabama, and Auburn, and then everyone else. So I think that's my lock, -10. Take Georgia. My upset is Pittsburgh and Penn State. Penn State is a 8.5-point favorite. I'm actually going to take Pittsburgh money line. I saw Penn State struggle last week, and I'm going Pittsburgh money line all day. I think Pittsburgh is not a bad football team this year, and I think Penn State without Saquon Barkley is going to be rough. Trace McSorley is not a good quarterback, so this week you're going to finally kind of see who Penn State really is.
And we almost saw an upset 10 years exactly to the day of Appalachian State beating a top-tier Big Ten team.
For the record, they should have won. They had the ball on the 10-yard line with a minute to go. I don't know why you punch that ball in the end zone. You get the first down, you go down, you run the clock out, you kick the field goal and win it in regulation. You don't give Trace McSorley and Penn State a minute to run it down the field and tie it up and win it in overtime.
Yeah.
Just a bad all-around. It would have been cool to see Appalachian State do that twice.
They should have.
At some point, Big Ten schools might stop scheduling Appalachian State.
Or just cover everything up when they lose.
Because that's happened a couple times this year in the Big Ten. So that's all it's a trend that maybe keep going for a pretty long time at this point.
It's been as long as I know.
So speaking of covering things up, last segment, the nut tap. This is where we tap each other's testicles freely and follically, and we have a good time and talk about we basically get to stand on our soapbox and talk about something. Yeah. Fellas. Sorry, that was a go-ahead go. I want you to talk about.
I thought you were trying to tell us something. I'll do mine because it's quick and simple. Tua's overrated. His first game against Louisville, he did fine. Whatever. Louisville, not a great fucking team without Lamar Jackson. His very first touchdown he threw, he was rolling out. Whatever, he got a rush was coming after him. He was falling and he throws the ball. One of two things was going to happen. I thought. One, it's going to get picked off because it was a shitty-ass throw. Or two, Alabama's somehow going to get a lucky-ass touchdown, and they're going to score. That's exactly what happened. But Twitter decided to think it was like the kick six. Chris Davis is taking it all the way. They thought that Tua is the next coming of Alabama. It was a bullshit throw. Like our great producer, Liam Smith, said, if that was Madden, that ball is being told it's bad, it's an off-balance throw. That ball is sailing 65 yards up into the end zone where your great granny's going to get hit in the fucking forehead and get knocked out.
Real quick comment on that. I mean, all right.
Tua is so overrated.
Did he mean to do exactly that throw? No. But the pure athleticism to just launch the ball while you're falling down in the general area of your receiver to go make a play, that's what Jalen Hurts didn't bring to the table. So that's why everybody blew up about that. But my nut tap was quite literally a nut tap to Florida State. The Virginia Tech blocked punt for a touchdown was the absolute dagger in that game, maybe in Florida State's season, because all of a sudden, Willie Taggart went from the next coming of Christ to the scapegoat. You know, the offense couldn't do anything after that. I mean, Florida State's not even a worry about for anybody else left on their schedule, and it's because of that play. Because if that play doesn't happen, it's a 3-10 game that Florida State has a very real chance of coming back and winning, especially with all the horribly blown calls and the non-reviewed things that I guess we don't even have time to get into right now.
I love them doing the swag surf at the beginning, and everyone's like, "Oh, Florida State's about to pound the shit out of Virginia Tech."
Hands up.
Complete 180. Yeah, hands up on you. I had fucking Virginia Tech +7, and you called me a dummy head.
Forget about that. Was well before I saw that swag surfing, and I was like, "Well, it's over. 30-point win by Florida State. I'm going home."
I lost $40 on that game. A lot of people are a lot of Florida State fans are already questioning Willie Taggart after one game. I mean, you've got Florida State fans asking. They're asking if he's underqualified to be a head coach.
Willie Taggart literally translates to painted by a penis.
I mean, you got to think about it. You don't want a guy painted by a penis as your head coach. That's not a good look for that's not a good look for the brand. So that's tough. You got FSU fans calling for your head after one game. My nut tap. We're going to go a little bit of a throwback here. It's Colin Klein, the old Kansas State quarterback who was actually a Heisman candidate. I think he finished as a Heisman finalist one season.
Yeah, it was like 5th or 6th. He was fucking good.
Yeah, he was up there. He led that team to an incredible season. They were in the national championship conversation until like week 8 or 9.
They blew it. Yeah, they blew it.
Mm-hmm.
Blew it. But Colin Klein waited till he was married to kiss his wife. Okay, I get it. You do what you do. If you believe that you can't kiss a woman before marriage, well, I don't know. I was kissing girls when I was in 4th grade on the swings. You know what I'm saying? I was always out there.
Humble brag over there.
Humble brag over there, bro.
I got my first kiss in 4th grade after the Duke Notre Dame game when J.J. Redick was at Duke. They came to the Bilo Center. We were kissing in my playhouse. I was in 4th grade. Okay, if you ever question me and women ever again, I want you to come back to this moment, and I want you to think, I was hooking up with chicks before Colin Klein got his first kiss, and he almost won a Heisman.
You know what? JJ Redick is your wingman?
I'm saying that JJ Redick's the reason I got my first kiss.
Listen, I'm just saying it's a real respectable move. I respect women. He respects them. He also was a Heisman finalist, and I can't argue with that move.
Okay, I respect it, not arguing with that move, but waiting till the altar to kiss is interesting, especially if you have guy friends who are like, wait a minute, you're getting married and you haven't kissed her. That guy was never in a group chat or never in a friend group in high school that was allowed to roast you, because if you start telling your friends, yeah, we've been dating for a couple years, and I thought about kissing her the other night, but I couldn't bring myself to do it before marriage, your guy friends are tearing into you, and they're going to be mean. That's where roasting comes from.
Did he soak?
See, that's the question we don't know. That's QTNA, my brother. We don't know if he soaked or not.
Mormons don't recognize that as anything wrong. So, I mean, he might have found some loopholes.
Did Colin Klein find a loophole? On the next episode of the Student Union Cup Check, you'll find out if Colin Klein found a loophole. We're going to be sure to do our investigative journalism this week on everything. So in episode 4, Drake and Kim Kardashian, that was a major conspiracy theory. We're going to find out if Colin Klein found a loophole. We
might get him on the show.
We're going to call Colin Klein and ask him.
I'm going to DM him right now.
Girl,
what did you do when you got a no apparent reason boner? Did you just laugh it off? Or did you just, I don't know. We'll figure out on episode 4. Thank you for tuning in. Clemson Carl, Andy Jones, Liam Smith, myself, Johnny Rambos. We are signing off. Enjoy.